Speaking of truth, I am here with the beautiful Mrs. BO Talley-Williams. Mrs. BO, how you doing?
I'm doing blessed. I'm not stressed and I can't complain, girl.
I'm gonna sing it every morning when I wake up. Yes, I love it. Y'all, hey, time out. You ain't nobody's grandma though. Hold on.
Wait, hold up. Yes, I am. And I'm about to be a grandmother of two. My daughter is about to have another baby. So it's about to be two. I don't even know if I was supposed to tell that, but however, I'm about to be the grandmother of two.
That is awesome. Well, you got to tell us how you looking this good because I'm only 28. So when I'm, however, oh, you only 32. So when I turn 32,
Thank you.
yes, I hope I'm looking like you, girl.
I'll take 32 because that was a good time in my life. Anything before that, they can have it.
No, that's right. Hey, that's probably exactly how I'm gonna feel too. Because these 20s, boy, they something else.
They was rough, right?
And yeah,
It was
yeah,
rough for me, so I can only imagine it.
yeah, man, I'm confused. I'm like, am I still like 21? Am I 35? Like, how old am I supposed to feel right now? How mature am I supposed to be? What am I supposed to know? But every year, every day, really, I feel like I get wiser and wiser. And that's one thing I pray for every single day is wisdom. So important.
Yeah, between 20 and 30 is like that confusing stage of life because on one hand, people are expecting you once you get 25 and older that you're mature. However, you're still not too far from your teen. And some of us still have that teen mentality. A lot of us, like me, I say I'm young spirited, but not young minded. However, and then some people are still young minded when they're in their 30s, and it's just a confusing part of life. But again, your experiences make you wiser. You
Yeah,
understand?
yeah.
And then you're still ain't nothing wrong with having a young spirit. You hear me? Nothing. That keeps you fun. That keeps you young. That keeps you looking good. Have that young spirit, but not that young mind. It'll get you in trouble.
Y'all, Mrs. O got me so nervous. I'm sweating. I don't know if y'all can see it. I'm so you don't understand. It was like maybe a year or so ago when I first started the podcast, and I was on your page, and I was like, man, it would be so amazing if I could have her come on the show and talk about something. And I didn't know what I would have you talk about. And like I said, just guidance and direction. Now we're here. I'm grateful, so grateful.
I'm good for it. I can only speak from experiences or from what someone has shared with me, and that's how I've always taught my five children.
That's
And
beautiful.
the people that I mentor, I mainly from experience. If I don't know about it, I can't talk about it.
People don't have that mindset. They want to tell you everything and never have been through it, never done it. How am I supposed to listen to you and believe you and trust you? You set me up for failure.
Absolutely. And that's just what happens. They set you up for failure because they feel like they think they know. And most of the time, when people think they know and don't really know, that will definitely set you up for failure and put you in a place you don't need to be. I always tell people to surround yourself with people, who can relate to what it is you may possibly be going through, not the people who's just going to judge what you're going through. And those are the people who just be talking because they don't know.
So I'm glad you said that. I'm so glad you said that. So let's get into it, Mrs. Bo. Tell us first about your background and then what you do now.
Wow, my background stems from the entertainment industry, music. I don't think a lot of people know that. I started finding out who I was through music. I sung since I was way high, singing in the church mass choir, and then we had a local girls group called Sisters of Eight. It was a gospel group, and then we turned into an R&B group called Essence of Ebony. I broke. Listen, we was tough, and I broke out from that, and then moved away, got married, and just started my own personal journey in music by myself as a solo artist. And I've been able to sing on so many people's albums as just that girl that used to do the little backgrounds or whatever, and it was amazing. And when I was just kind of tired of that, I kept myself in that industry, which I am still in, and I'm saying that to lead up to what I'm doing now. I kept myself in that industry, but in a different light. I started managing talent from full-figured models to actresses, DJs, rappers. I was managing everybody. You hear me?
That's awesome.
At one point in my life, I just got tired of babysitting because managing was a babysitting job for me. And I was missing out on things with my children being out late. And I was a promoter. Within that, I was a promoter. Me and my girlfriend, we used to promote all the latest venues that would come to Atlanta. And it was maybe me, her, and maybe one other female promoting groups out there. But we were like the only female promoters out here doing our thing with the men that was making them dollars, okay? But I had to cut all that loose. And eventually I had the opportunity to do a party for someone. And just doing that party, people were coming up. I planned the party and people were coming up to them like, who put this together? Who did this? And they were like, Miss BO TALLEY. And I wasn't using my last name, my married name at that time. I was still stuck on Talley because that's how I branded myself. And so I wasn't ready to change over, but they were like, Miss Talley, BO TALLEY did that. And then Ivory Ladder. Do you know Ivory Ladder?
Yes.
Ivory Ladder noticed that I did a party for Kara Braxton and her sister Kenny Braxton. You know them?
Yes, that's so awesome.
I did their birthday parties, and then after that, when people saw that I did theirs, other people were asking me, you know, could I do theirs? And so now we mainly focus on event management. And so I have a bunch of celebrities under my belt where I just plan their annual events for them. And it's a lot of fun. So my focus with my entertainment company is just event management. I'm done with managing talent and all of that. I just focus on event management. And that's just the gist of me. But we have a nonprofit organization that we run called Balling for Lupus Loves Foundation. And it helps bring awareness to lupus survivors. And it's amazing. And hopefully one day you can play in it. That's a whole nother conversation. It's an all-female celebrity charity basketball game.
What?
It's all-female celebrity charity basketball game. I've had everybody playing it from Kara Braxton to Chastity Melvin to Michelle Snow to Taj McWilliams. I can keep going. Tiffany Hayes. I can keep going. All the WNBA players who have played it, and all the celebrity women who have played in this game, from Mama D, from Frankie Lyons, who passed away, Keisha Cole's mama, to Deborah Edney, Waka Flocka's mom, to Love and Hip Hop stars, to Love and Marriage, Huntsville, Melody Holt. Like, I've had so many people, to Wanda Braxton.
Wow.
When I say this event is huge, and it's star-studded, and it's only consistent of female celebrities like yourself.
You're speaking into existence. Yes, I claim.
And then we have that. And then last but not least, I run a fitness company called BO Fit that I actually started during the pandemic. I started the business, but I've been into fitness forever. But I started my business during the pandemic.
Nice.
Yeah.
Now, next question is, how did you get into fitness?
That's a good story too. Listen, back in my time, you know, we only had 1 or 2 Black female fitness gurus, and one was Donna Richardson. And I don't know if you know who she is. She was the only Black female influence that I saw, you know, that I felt like, all right, because they had Jane Fonda and all of them back in my time. And I think Jane Fonda was the big, and then Donna Richardson, right? If you don't know her, look her up. Yeah. Amazing. And I had all these children, and I had gained all this weight. And one day in my care package, because my family, I lived in San Francisco, and my family would send me and the children care packages. Yes. And one day my ex-mother-in-law sent me this VCR tape, which you probably never seen before.
That, you know.
She sent a VCR tape of Donna Richardson, and it was this Black lady showing us how to, she was gorgeous. I was like, who is this? And she fit. It reminded me of how I looked when I ran track in school and played basketball and cheered. I was like, this is what I need to get back to, because being a mom and having 4 children, the last 2, I gained over 100 pounds more than I was used to. And it was affecting my health, and it was hard for me to get up and down the stairs and stuff. So that was a blessing from God when I got that VCR tape. And that right there changed my whole life. She taught me how to work out from home. I lost weight, doing everything at home, because I had 4 children at that time. Yeah. And it was just too much to be going to a gym, because my ex-husband was in the military. So it was just too much going on. However, I learned how to work out from home, and that's been over 27. My baby boy is about to be 27,
Okay.
27 years ago, and I never turned back. And I love the way it made me feel. I didn't have to take meds anymore, and just I've always I've always been pretty much healthy, but when I had the last two children of the four, it just took a toll on my body, and I had to hurry up and get it figured out because it wasn't healthy. And so that started my journey. And the girls from around the hood, the neighborhood, which is the military base, they noticed that I had lost this weight, but they never saw me going to nobody gym. And girl, by the end of the summer, everybody was in my apartment working out to Donna Richardson. And we all was shedding pounds and looking good. By the time our husbands came back from deployment, we was fine and in shape. They didn't know what to think. You hear me? And I said I would never go back to that again. I would try to find the most healthiest, positive way to stay feeling good mentally, physically, spiritually, and all that. And exercise does that for me. It does that for me.
Beautiful, man. How can more Black people adopt the same mindset as you? Because it's one thing to receive a tape, or nowadays we got like, YouTube links. It's another to apply that knowledge. How can Black people do that?
I always tell people you got to get your mind right before you can get your body right. That's a tough question, because if this right here ain't right, then nothing in life is right. You understand? It starts here first before anything else. Most people are just afraid of being pushed, or just taking things to another limit. Most people want the quick fix. A lot of people don't want to work hard for anything, let alone working out, because that's even harder sometimes, because you really, it's a discipline that you really have to learn, and you got to incorporate it and make it a way of life, like you eat and sleep, you know what I mean, put your clothes on.
Yeah.
When it comes to exercising, you have to incorporate that into your life just the same. And a lot of people just not willing to do that, but exercise plays a huge role in your life ability and your lifelongness, or however you want to say it. Like, it plays a huge role. It can either heal you or kill you, depending on what you're doing while you're exercising. But I know it's literally saved my life. But people just they're gonna need to want to do it. It's really hard to say, because if you don't want to do it, you're not gonna do it. If you have no form of discipline, or don't even understand consistency, then you will not do exercise. You won't do anything in life. You will just be stagnant and content with what you have going on,
Very,
So.
very, very true. That's real. What would you say to people who feel like they don't have the time to work out, one, and then two, for the people who make those excuses? Oh, I don't want to work out, just the unmotivation and the lack of discipline. How would you encourage those people?
I always try to tell my clients to find the time when, if you have children, or if you come from a busy work schedule, sometimes you take a break. And I know sometimes that break you don't want to do anything, but if you're serious about your health and your fit goal, then you'll take that little time of the day that you have and get in a 5-minute HIIT workout. A 5-minute HIIT workout is better than no workout whatsoever. So I just encourage them to set their alarms, or when the kids go to sleep, do what you have to do. Because honestly, for me, that's how it worked when my children went to sleep. Even if it was 10 minutes late at night, I did it. But once you start, these things just flow through your body where you'll want to do it. You know what I mean? And so it's all about starting and getting those things just flowing through your body. So then it'll make you feel like, all right, I need to do 5 minutes. I need to do, 10 minutes. However, again, it's about just discipline yourself and getting this mind right. However, but that's what I mainly tell my clients. Find that little time in the day to do something, even if it's a few jumping jacks, because that'll get you in the mind space. That'll make you feel even good just doing 10 jumping jacks or 20 jumping jacks, because clearly that's a whole body workout in itself. But if you can get that feeling in you, like, all right, I feel accomplished once I did this for 5 minutes, it's better than nothing. You'll want to try it again, and then you'll really make the time. Then you'll realize, oh, the health benefits from it, the physical attributes from it. Then you'll be like, okay, let me add more time. All right, let me make sure I get this cooked by this time. Let me make sure I'm done with this by this time so I can incorporate this workout at this time. Yeah. But everyone's different, but I just really try to help them find that little bit of time in the day to start something.
That's real. 5 minutes, 5 push-ups, 5 jumping jacks. It works. I agree. I 100% agree.
It works. It doesn't take a lot. You don't have to lift tires. You ain't got to be in the gym for 5 hours, 2 hours to see results. If you start something and you're consistent with it, you will definitely see results.
I agree. I've been using the same weight. I think it's 15 pound dumbbells, and I go right in the back and I lift every single day. And I had these 3 women from the other building come today and ask me who was I ready to fight? Who was I getting ready to fight? And they said that they seen me like at the beginning of last summer when I started to walk around the neighborhood, and I started to jog a little bit, and I just stopped doing everything when winter came. And I was like, I got it. Like you said, mental health. My mental health just started to go, and I became like super depressed, and it was cold outside, dark outside, it was bad. So I said, I got to do something. What's going to make me feel good? And I don't know what made me get up and start working out again, because I had a horrible relationship with it from basketball. And like you said, once those, not just the physical results, like the way my body looks, how I started to feel, like it was amazing. And like you said, I could do it for 10 minutes, I could do it for an hour, it didn't matter. That feeling that I had, like, it was just so relieving, so peaceful. If I was stressed or like mad, I could work it out, pump it out, and then I'm back right and I'm ready for my day. And it gives you such an energy boost if you do it in the morning and get it over with. It is beautiful.
That part, doing it in the morning. I'm the type, I could do it in the morning, at nighttime, or in the middle of the day. I'm so used to exercising at this point that any type of the day gives me that. Any time of the day gives me that energy to keep it going. Now I'm trying not to bulk up too much.
We the opposite. I'm trying to get a prison body. I'm not trying to get swole.
Well, I can do that. However, I don't want to do that anymore. I used to live for that. Yes. And now I just want it to look soft and subtle because I'm older. I like my little thickness, but I like my toneness too. You know what I'm saying? So I know how to exercise for me. And that's another thing, just really learning how to work out for you, because a lot of people always try to teach you how to work out like them. And I never teach that to any of my clients. I listen to what your goals are, and then we try to reach your goals, and I'll show you what to do to reach those goals. And that's about it. But I don't design your workout for my workout, because they clearly ain't gonna be able to do what I do, Everyone's different. So you have to make sure that even when you're working out and watching other people, you can take from other people all day, because we do it all day. We look at this person doing something and we're like, oh, that's kind of cool, but do it properly. Now, make sure you're doing it right. However, you don't have to add the same amount of reps or the same amount of weight that they're doing. You do it for you, and you'll still see the same results. Because, girl, the heaviest weight in my house is a 30-pound kettlebell.
What?
And I have plates, which is 25-pound plates, but the heaviest weight is a 30-pound kettlebell. And I am proof that you can still build muscle with the weights that you have, just being consistent with it. You might have to amp up your reps a little bit. The heavier the weight, the less the reps, and the less the reps, the heavier the weights. However, you might just want to change it up a little bit like that, but you don't have to be lifting 40, 50 pounds to see results, just as long as you're consistent and switching some things up with the weight so the muscle memory don't stay, then you can do what it is that you need to do to build, for sure.
Thank you for saying that, because most people think, like you said, you got to be in the gym for 2-3 hours a day and lifting all this weight. If you have certain goals, then yeah, maybe. But if you just, doing it for your mental health, or you just want to get back in shape or just start something new, you definitely don't have to be in there that long. You will be miserable. You're going to quit before you even start.
You will. You'll be on the treadmill walking all day, mad.
Mad in shape. Man. Do you think that if, like your experience with Miss Richardson, seeing that video, and she was a woman of color, do you think that if we had more female trainers as well as more trainers of color, that more women and people of color would work out?
I feel like we would. There's a false narrative of exercising now. Nobody's real.
Mhm.
All the bodies were built and then they have to go work out to keep it looking like that. See, people think once you have plastic surgery, you're done. No, the doctors will tell you when you have plastic surgery, you must maintain a healthy lifestyle to keep it. Because what you got chopped off before could come back. I know personally from a friend of mine. She had a whole tummy tuck and just thought she was done. Tummy flat and tight like child. And she thought she was good. No, her stomach is bigger now than it was before because she never worked out.
Yeah.
Never. And I have close friends who are plastic surgeons and cosmetic surgeons. It's a difference between the two. However, and they say all the time, no, you have to continue to work out. So I do feel like if we did have more Black women with natural attributes out here working and showing us, I do feel like more women would be more comfortable with being themselves and exercising and maintaining what it is that God gave them versus what they want to add on. But the false narrative of it now has so many people turned off that they don't even want to exercise anymore. They just want to do what everyone else is doing and they just want to go get it fixed. Now, I'm not mad at you. There's no judgment, trust me. When you meet God, I ain't got nothing to do with it. That's you and God by yourself. I have nothing to do with it. And I don't know your circumstances and I don't know who said what to you to make you want to do that to yourself. So I have no judgment. If it's making you happy and you're not out here hurting anyone else or yourself, then do what it is you got to do to be happy because it starts here. You understand? And so, but I do feel like the women that I talk to, they're very appreciative that it's a natural me. And they're like, I have somebody to look up to that is not out here promoting this, that, and the third. I'm already feeling, some type of way about myself, low self-esteem. And then to go see these women do this and not even work hard. And now I got to work really hard, to keep what I got. It's like a tug of war. They don't know which way to go. And it's so hard and it's so sad, but they're very happy to see someone like me and there are a few others that's just naturally who they are. And we promote that. Again, I'm not knocking anybody who do what they do, but I do feel like if more Black women authentically shared themselves, then more women would work out.
For sure. It's honestly not fair to get on there looking like that and pretend like, that you, like you say, you don't have to work out or nothing. And don't tell people that, because that's why so many young girls are getting the surgery because they think, oh, I just need to get a BBL or whatever they call them. And then they dying. They flying to the Dominican Republic to get them for $200 and then dying to get a body that's not even real. And again, you're gonna have to work out anyway. So why not just start that way? And if God did not bless you with that asset, then you wasn't meant to have it, period. And I can remember, because I'm very thick and voluptuous, and I got made fun of so bad for it. So I, hate, I didn't even look at my butt. I didn't know how big my butt was. And now Megan Thee Stallion and them done came out. You can't tell me nothing. That's why I love to work out now. And, sometimes I'll go outside. This might be a little TMI, but, free balling head to toe because I become so comfortable with my womanhood that I want to show it off. And I love, like you said, working out for yourself. Like, I still might do some, harder workouts that are like basketball workouts just to make sure I can still do it a little bit. But most of the time, I'm doing things to make my body curvy how I want it to be. And absolutely so beautiful. And as a gay Black woman, I make sure that anywhere I go, I always work out outside or like in the hotel weight room so that people can see that all three of, the things that I am work out: a woman, a Black person, and a gay person, especially having a masculine body. So if I can do that in front of other women, like you said, like how powerful is that I can show them it's okay to be strong or whatever it is that you want to be. It's okay to be that, and especially to be healthy the right way, not these false narratives that we got out here. Yes.
It's crazy. And that's good. Kudos to you. I love it. Yeah. I sometimes feel so bad for some of y'all because it's like, dang, like you said, I got judged by having this thick body. And now everybody buying what I got.
Paying for it.
I mean, paying hundreds and thousands of dollars. And now here I am, I got it. you know, and that like the confusion of it all. It's such a scary time now for everybody because you don't know. You were mad at yourself because of what you had. Now what you got, you loving it, but it's almost like I'm still confused. But like, why didn't I love myself then?
Exactly.
Why did it take this for me not to love myself? You know, and now I do. Now I'm okay with it. But that's just a part of growth. You know, I have a lot of young girls who come to me and they're still confused about it because they're still mad at the bully for bullying them. Mm-hmm. But now they have everything that the bully liked, you know, but they're still mad. And so it's still some confusion there. And, you know, and it's just sometimes that part of life is kind of hard to tell them which way to go with it. And I'm just being really honest. I used to get bullied myself. So I get it, but I got bullied for being too skinny.
The opposite.
Yeah. I was bullied so bad for being so skinny and dark skinned as a child. And now here it is, everybody talking about melanin. When I was growing up, I don't even think I understood what the word melanin was. No one said that word ever to me. Back in my time, no one ever said the word melanin. You just black and you the N word. That's all I heard. You a black monkey N word. You get me? And so, and now everybody loving this black monkey N word.
Feel me? Want to look just like us.
And want to look just like me. And it was tough. So it's kind of hard. Even for me, I'd be searching for the answers to that for myself because I'm still that girl that sometimes I find myself, well, you didn't even like me because I was too skinny and black. Now you love me and tell me my body fly. And I'm still not as thick as Meg Stallion or anybody, but now you're telling me, Miss Bo, you so fine, you so this, but I thought I looked the same damn way back then.
They're confusing you. You don't know what's right.
Yeah, and sometimes I have to, you know, just go and take it to God and try to seek those answers on these feelings that I have. And that's the good thing because I do believe in God. So I don't go into a depressed state about those things because I do know that God does exist. And I know it personally from the things that I've experienced, and God's grace got me through. And God's grace is still all around me right now. Everything about me, being on this live with you is God's grace. You hear me? And so my depression, when I was depressed, I'd go pray, I'd go meditate, I'd even go check myself in the mirror to get myself out of that depression. But with that being said, you know, I'm not confused and I'm not mad about it anymore. But if I do have a trigger thing, I know what to do, and that's pray.
you gotta have your go-to thing in your pocket because, you know, everybody at some point in time sinks for whatever reason. It's about how far you sink, how far you allow yourself to sink, and it's different for everybody. And that's definitely something I'm glad that you said, because even myself, like, I'll let myself go way, way, way down and just feeling sorry for myself, or I'll even beat up on myself too. I'm calling myself all the same names or saying the same things to myself that I've heard other people say. And that's what I was going to say to you too, is that all those feelings, they're not yours, they're somebody else's. And I've absolutely myself all the time too. Like, nah, somebody else told you that when you was like 5 or 6. That's not really how you feel about yourself or what you think about, you know, your talent, your skills, whatever the case might be. So every day I be checking myself too, Miss Bo.
Yeah, you have to keep yourself in a good mental space. You really have to check yourself. And like you said, those were their words. And that was good that you said that, because I have told myself that was what they thought of me. But now that I know who I am, I know what I think of me, and I am nothing of what y'all think that, you know, and I don't concern myself anymore with what people think of me, not anymore. Now, I will say I used to back in the day. We all guilty of that. However, once you find this joy in your life. So for me, my ultimate thing that I finally understood and I wanted to find was joy. I used to think it was happiness, but I realized every damn thing make you happy. Hell, being on this live make you happy. Having sex make you happy. Eating ice cream make you happy. Yep. That's what I want in life. No, I want joy. Yes. Joy is when you are completely okay with yourself and everything around you, and can't nothing bother you or disturb you. And that's where I am in my life right now. For the longest, I was seeking happiness, and I realized that ain't what I want. Ultimately, that's what I want. No, I want joy. And that's how I define it. That may not be how anyone else sees it, but for me, joy just means that I am complete within me. I have reached not even just this worldly thing, but this outside of the world thing, this thing with God, that anything bigger than man, I have reached it, beyond, I've gone beyond it. And so I'm just very happy with this excessive amount of joy in my life, that nothing that anyone says to me, bothers me anymore. There's some triggers, but I'm not at a space where, let me go find you, cuss you out one good time, get on here, write a whole paragraph on social media about it. No, I'm not in that space no more. And even with a trigger, I'm not even in that space anymore. I know how to handle it now. And I said, you have reached your joy in life when you are so comfortable with things, and not to respond to a trigger, something that'll take you back. And you can handle it, and you don't go off on somebody on social media about saying this, that, and the third about you, and you just look at it and rub it off and don't even have no second thoughts about it. You have reached ultimate joy in your life, and that's just where I am.
I'm almost there. I'm getting there with you.
It takes time. It takes time for everyone. Some people just still on, I want to be happy. I want to be I hear people say it all the time. I just want to be happy. But what does that mean? Exactly. What does that mean? You got a new car and that's going to make you happy for the rest of your life. You finally bought your house that you got to pay this mortgage on. That's going to make you happy for the rest of your life. No, I ain't want none of that. I just want joy. Joy is so peaceful. Exactly. You understand? No matter what the past comes, if the past came back up, it can't affect you. If some new shit came back up, it doesn't affect you. You know what I'm saying? That's joy to me. Yeah. And that's where I am.
That's deep. Ooh, you just gave me a whole new perspective. So I keep saying, when I get this car, when I get, and I know it's not going to make me happy realistically, but it also.
No, it will make you happy. It's going to make you happy.
It ain't going to keep me happy though.
Right. It ain't gonna keep you happy because it's gonna break down. You're gonna have to get the oil change.
It's always something else. Something always comes. When you want a thing, something else come with that thing.
It gives, happy is a quick fix to me. That's how I see happy. Like I said, anything, getting that new iPad, my phone finally working. Oh, Lord, that made me so happy. You know what I mean? But it's all a quick fix. It can tear up, but joy don't ever tear up. Joy don't ever get broken down. Yeah. Never. And not everybody, and it's sad because people die before they even experience the joy of life. Yes. And that's what you're supposed to get to. Joy. Joy is the ultimate part of life, because then you become really one with God, and you become really one with yourself, and nothing matters. Nothing else matters. Even the stuff that, I have 5 children. I love them more than life. However, Lord knows
what they do.
What they do is what they do, not what I do anymore. Yes. Back in the day, it was everything about them children. Mm-hmm. But I know I raised them wisely, and I raised them the best that I could possibly do from the teachings I received. And they're doing very well. And they know right from wrong at this point. And they know to be respectful and all of those things. So at this point, whatever they go through, I used to try to stop them from experiencing things in life. And I used to try to stop them from making mistakes. Now, if you make them, you got to learn from them, because I'll be here always. So now I will allow them to live and learn. And I don't consume their issues, because I don't want to look like their issues. You hear me? Real. And that's where I leave it.
How did you even get to that point though, of like, I guess you can almost say letting go of, being able to let go of your children?
I think like one day I was having a conversation with my mama, and we were talking about my sisters. I'm being real transparent right now. I'm probably gonna tell too much. My sister and my mama had got into it so bad, and then me and my mama and my sister had got into it so bad, and I went a whole 2 years without talking to my mama, and she was literally on her deathbed. Wow. Right. And it took her being on her deathbed, because she had 2 aneurysms, for me to start back talking to her. And when she got better, we ended up having a conversation about life and stuff. And she was telling me when she let us go. And the way she was talking about, which is a whole nother conversation, but the way she was explaining to me why she let us go and when she let us go, her life became so much stress-free. And she became a little more happier, and then she found her joy. She was just like, I realized I couldn't hold on to you all like I wanted to. It was literally killing me. And I said, you know what? I get it, because that's what I'm doing with my children. She said a whole lot more, but that's what I'm doing to my children. I'm still over here trying to keep them from making these mistakes, and they gotta learn. They gotta learn so they know how to get back up and dust themselves off. I can't keep doing it for them. And when she was spitting all this to me, I was like, ding, light bulb went off in my head, and I was like, that's it, God. I said a prayer to God and said, God, I'm giving it all to you. I'm giving it all to you. I've done all I can do. I'm gonna always be here. They know no matter if I got a roof over my head, they got a roof over their head. Now I will never let them be homeless on the street or nothing like that, but I have to let them live and learn. And when my mama told me she was cool with whatever happened to us, that she gave us to God, and she knew we were covered in the blood of Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
I was like, all right, I understood. I'm getting goosebumps talking, just trying to remember the conversation. And I understood it. And I was like, I got you. I'm about to do the same thing. She was like, but when you're ready to have this talk with God, and then you really give your children over to God, then you'll experience so many different things in life. And I did. Gave my children over to God. I love them. They're my babies. I spend time with them. I see them all the time when I can. However, I'm not worried as much as I used to worry.
Yeah.
Because I know that they're covered in the blood of Jesus Christ. So I'm not worried no more. I don't worry about it.
On that note, I ain't even gonna say nothing back to that. I gotta rewatch this and listen to that again. That's deep. That's real though. I can say my dad definitely, he told me that, like, especially when I went off to school and overseas, because I was a daddy's girl. That was my partner. So when I left, he was texting me all day, every day, calling me all day, every day. And then he got to the point where he was like, he was getting, even more sad because he could text me all day, but he couldn't be there with me. So he said he had to let me go. And he was like, I'm sorry, like if I don't text you, you feel like you're not hearing from me, but like dad has to do this for him because I can't talk to you every day. And I mean, it even made me emotional. I didn't understand it as much then, and I'm sure I still don't understand it as much now as I will when I have kids. But I guess I practice a little bit with my brother because he's only 16. So I have to, let him do it. And I'm still making mistakes out here too, but I be wanting to like butt in all the time and tell him stuff all the time. And I can't. And being a sister is different, than being a parent. He don't want me being like his parent. At the same time, I'm almost old enough to be his mom. So it's hard, but definitely I can say I'm using bits of your little nuggets already. So hopefully when I have kids, I'm prepared.
Yeah, you'll be prepared. Your daddy already done prepared you. So
yes, he has prepared me for a lot, a lot, including marriage, which is what I want to talk to you about next. So I know you have been married twice. So this question I'm gonna ask you is a little bit different. What was your definition of partnership during your first marriage?
I don't know. I was young and dumb.
Yeah.
You hear me?
Yes.
Young and dumb.
Man.
I got married too young.
Man, how old were you?
I was 16 when I got married.
Wow.
I haven't shared this with anybody, so you're the first.
Oh, thank you.
Now, I don't know why God told me to say this, because I've done plenty of interviews and people have asked me this question and I just say, I was young, Chad, I was young. I never spit out the number, but like I said, in my joy, I'm learning to be just as honest and transparent as I want to be. And if anyone judged me for it, that's on them. I ain't got nothing to do with it. That's how they feel. Yeah. However, I didn't know. I didn't know what partnership meant then. I just knew what survival meant. And I was trying to survive domestic abuse in my household, watching my mama get her butt whipped, you know what I'm saying? And being disrespectful, being disrespected verbally and mentally. And so from a child's perspective, it was horrible. I couldn't wait to get out of my house. And so I married my children's father, and we had plenty of children after that. And so all my children are by my first husband.
Okay.
And so no, I had no clue to what partnership meant. Man. I knew what survival meant.
Yes.
Yeah. But now, in my marriage now, umpteen years later, because my marriage to my ex-husband was decades ago. However, with my husband now, partnership means everything to us. We really enjoy being each other's support. We really enjoy being each other's backbones, best friends, lovers. We enjoy that about each other. And so we try to always be there for each other, even if we can't be there for each other. And if that means just giving a call before I came on here, he called me, he knew I was coming on here. To call me to say, baby, good luck, on the podcast today. We don't take anything lightly. Like everything is big to us. No matter who invites us, that's God's grace. That's a blessing to us. So nothing's too small for us, and we're gonna treat it all the same way. And so just for him to come and just wish me good luck on this, that's what partnership. That's just some of what partnership means to me, and vice versa. Before his games, just making sure he in a good mind space, because it's a lot as a coach, just as well as a player. And so, partnership means to me being able to pray together. We always eat. We try to. We're in 2 different states right now, but when it's time for dinner, we get on our FaceTime and we pray together. He cooked when he cooked. I don't cook, but I cooked, and we eating together.
Beautiful, man. Like y'all still doing that in marriage.
Yes, that's what partnership is. You're supposed to be equally yoked, and I feel like we are. And that's the beautiful thing about me and Fred. And we really enjoy each other's time. We enjoy each other's space, but we also understand that we need space from each other at the same time, and we respect it. And understanding is partnership. I understand him and he understands me, and that's why we're able to communicate. That's why I trust him. That's why I'm honest with him, and so forth and so forth. Because I feel like if there's no understanding, there's no relationship.
You hit it right on the head.
Yeah.
You need to be a relationship coach. You need to be all kinds of stuff.
You know what? I said on a few panels or two. I just said on one this past Saturday. It was Marriage 101. It was called the When Love Aligns Conference by this amazing power couple. And they held it this weekend in Washington, but I was on the virtual part of it. And we talked about accountability and responsibility in marriages. And so I sat on that panel. And it was real deep. It was real deep, but it was real good. So I do talk about it when I'm asked, if I feel like I'm supposed to speak. I always tell people, I don't speak unless God tell me to speak. Like telling you that I got married at 16, God said, say it. And because everybody don't need to know your story, because some people will try to use your story and manipulate it and do something malicious with it. However, I speak to those I need to speak to. And for whatever reason, I was supposed to tell that to you.
Speak your truth. You gotta say it. You won't speak your truth.
Speak my truth. But again, you have to be careful sometimes speaking your truth, because some people will try to take it and, like I said, manipulate it. But again, I speak when God tells me to speak. But it was a great panel. However, Fred and I, it ain't always been beautiful. And we both will say that. I say it sometimes when I'm posting on my social media. I'm quick to say, honey, this shit ain't been easy. Let me tell you.
For real.
I mean, it ain't been easy. But we learned, what we figured out, though, is that our good outweighed our bad. And that everything that we deemed to be so bad, which was just an unbalanced part of life. And when life seems to be like, when life is unbalanced, then everything seems horrible. Like you ready to die. You're like, woe is me, sunk all the way down. But it's really, life is just unbalanced, and it'll make you feel some type of way. But you got to figure out the balance. And we just learned that how to kind of just balance each other out and be there for each other, that the good outweighed the bad. And we wanted to work through all this unbalanced stuff and get us back on the same track. So one wasn't here and one wasn't there. And once we did that, our whole marriage changed for the good,
Yes.
because then it allowed us to understand each other better when we wrote down what we didn't like and what we did like. And we realized what we loved the most outweighed the bad. Now let's understand this bad stuff over here. So we can just be beautiful all together, so we can be balanced. And we learned and understood, and it changed up how we communicated. It changed up my trust in him, his trust in me, being more transparent with each other, holding ourselves now more accountable for the things we do and say, from the smallest things, from just the tone in our voice. Now we can say to each other, baby, I didn't like that tone. And then I can apologize without going tit for tat. I could just say, baby, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do that. And versus, well, you said it to me too,
Yep.
And then you going back and forth for no reason, but now that we understand who we are, it's just like apologize and move on. Ain't no argument.
I love it. But you will go tit for tat when you ain't got that self-awareness yet. I already know.
And you will go tit for tat.
Yeah, you start arguing about something that you weren't even thinking about that 2 minutes ago. You're arguing about something completely different now.
Way from the past. You don't put it all up into this conversation. You don't went back 5 years ago.
Still mad. Oh, that's so funny, man. Can you tell us in what ways can people support their partners during those unbalanced times when one partner is, down, struggling, whether they can't, find a job, or maybe they struggle with mental health issues. They may be going through family issues with their parents or, siblings. In what ways can someone's partner support them during those challenging times?
Sometimes you just gotta give people that space to feel the way they feel. Sometimes you just can't jump in and be Captain Save-A-Ho.
But that's too much for some people, though.
True.
They want to or save, like you said.
I've learned from personal experience, because I would be the one that, oh my gosh, I can't believe you feeling this way, and I don't want you to feel this way, and I'm trying to talk you into everything and out of everything. And from experiences with us, it was like, I just need my space right now. I need you here, but I need you here, but I need you to understand why I'm feeling like this right now. Just let me have this right now. And so I learned to just give that space a little bit. And when it was asked, then I would come in and give the best advice that I could give, and give the support that needed to be given. And then on the other hand, there's people that need somebody to come in and be Captain Save-A-Ho and swipe them up. You know what I'm saying? So, but in our case, it was like, back away a little bit. I am going through something. I don't know what I'm gonna do next. I'm gonna get it figured out, but I don't need the pressure of anybody, telling me this and telling me that. And so that was maybe my husband's experience, because he went through a little depression at one time, and I thought I could just jump in and just be it, because that's what you see. That's what you see. People are like, okay, you need to say something to them to make them not feel this way. When a person is in a sunken place, they in a sunken place. And it is hard. Sometimes it doesn't matter it don't matter what you say. And until they're ready to get out of it, then sometimes there's really nothing you can do but just let them know that you are there. And when you are ready to have a conversation, or when you're ready to really cry on my shoulder, or when you really need that hug from me, know that I'm here. I won't ever let you feel alone. So I never let him feel alone. He knew that. And then that helped him through a lot of the depression that he was going through at one time. He hasn't been depressed in a long time, thank God, knock on wood. But, at one point, we didn't know if he was going to be working back in the WNBA. We didn't know if he was going to have a job, and then I was the only one working at that time. And so it was a scary moment for us in life at one time. You know how it is with basketball, it's up and down, and coach's longevity is only 5 years, if that, unless somebody else ain't going to say, then you can you can be there for a long time, depending on what the color of your skin is. You already know. So, but he went through that. And for me, it was just backing away, just letting him know, I'm here, babe. Just know that I'm never gonna leave you out here alone. I'm never gonna let you, get to a place to where it's just no turning back from. I would never, as long as we together, I'm gonna always be there for you. And if you can't do something, I'm gonna work harder. And so just to have him having that comfort and believing it and trusting it.
Yes.
Now he knows no matter what in life, my wife, because we're not just married, we life partners. We are life partners. And I didn't want to marry for a piece of paper. I married somebody who we gonna live together until the day one of our asses die. You
Yes.
understand? And we are just that, and we are committed to being life partners, and that's where we are. So when depression and stuff has come up, uh, luckily for us, it's been an easy thing to deal with. But I know what most people, a lot of people, I ain't gonna say most people, many people, it could be different. It could be different. So I mean, but that's what worked for us. I don't know if that's the answer you're seeking, but that's how we kind of handled it when he went through it. And maybe I've had some depression and not really known it, but I come from a different cloth. I'm cut from a cloth of like strong, independent Black women that I don't even know if I was depressed. I never had time to acknowledge it because I come from women who my grandmother had 10 children. Uh, and she had her first child at 13. And my mom had 4 children and they were single mothers. And my grandmother had a whole bunch of grandchildren she had to raise. And she had like 3 children that died in the midst of raising all these 10 children and grandchildren. So that's the strength that I grew up with, that I don't even know. I have no clue if I ever was depressed. And maybe I was and did not realize it because I had to always get myself back up and keep myself together because that's all I saw. I never saw my mother cry, even in the midst of getting her ass beat by men. I never saw her shed a tear.
Wow.
I would hear the screams.
Yeah.
I'd see the black eye, the bruised arm, but I never saw a tear. And so for some reason that did something to me, that I have this strength of when things are going on, I don't know I don't know what's happening. It could be happening. I have no clue because I never saw any type of weakness in my life as far as women in my life.
Man, that's deep. And I almost feel like Black women, period, especially Black mothers, y'all don't have time to, to be sad or do nothing. First of all, you got to worry about protecting your own self, if you married, your husband, and then also your kids, because everybody a target. So you don't got time to, like you said, to be worried about all this other stuff going on. You are literally a lioness you got to protect. And it's great that you have women in your family like that. And I can definitely say mine are too, but I'm very emotional and sensitive. So I cry. If I need to cry, I cry. If I'm feeling sad, I'm gonna be sad. If I'm mad, I'm gonna be mad. But my parents always try to teach me to, be strong, and I let other people see me cry, but that made me somebody who I wasn't. Like, yes, I'm strong and I can handle a lot, but I'm also a very emotional, empathetic, sensitive person. And I want that from other people. I'm naturally a healer. So I do gravitate towards people who need saving, but I've learned how not to save, first of all, because I need to save my own self before I save anybody else. And because, like you said, I could be literally saving a hoe, saving the wrong person. That ain't my job. But the main thing is worry about yourself. And I think what you said, your answer was perfect. I mean, I couldn't ask for a better one. And I wasn't really looking for one per se, but I think that's perfect because the main things in relationships, period, no matter if it's a friendship, a parent and child, marital, it doesn't matter. Understanding and love are the two key things, and not understanding how you want to understand, but truly understanding the other person. But if you want to see them, you ain't really talking to that person. You talking to a version of that person. And but that's another conversation. That's pretty deep.
Yeah, absolutely.
Anything else that you want to share with us? Any advice, any questions for me before we go?
I always try to tell people that straight up, point blank, simple. Life is to live,
Well,
you know? And we all hear life is short. Yes, it is. However, people have been dying like this way before my time, quick, fast, in a hurry. The only thing different now is there's cameras out here and social media, so you get to see everybody's dying. But even when I was growing up, everybody was dying. I don't think dying has gotten out of hand. People been dying. You hear me? But people tend to over exaggerate death a lot. I just, like I tell people, the only thing that's changed is the fact that we have cameras.
we can see
We
it.
get to see, we get to hear everybody's dying, but it ain't changed. People being dying, so that's nothing new. But in the midst of all of that, I feel like life is to live. Enjoy it. I mean, really live your life responsibly, legally. You understand? Where it's not affecting your parents or yourself or anybody, your friends, in a bad way. And enjoy it. Embrace everything about you. Everything. All right.
Yes.
And don't give two shits about what nobody say.
Man, that's beautiful.
And then your life is beautiful.
That's
Your life is beautiful. Your life is so beautiful. And then people will attract to you, the right people will attract to you, the people that you've been praying to be around, those people will come to you because now you're exuding like this confidence beyond measures, and now the people that you wanted, God is sending them to you because you're confident enough to handle these people that you've been praying for to come in your life. If that's what you're praying for, I don't know. I'm just using it as an example, but you really just got to find this space, this space that only you exist in, to where you can become one with you. All right. Because if you can't figure out you, there's no reason to have no children. There's no reason to have no marriage. There's no need to have no friends, no nobody. It makes no sense if you're not together. Because if you're all jacked up, everybody that's coming in behind you gonna be jacked up too. And then that's just generational bullshit after bullshit after bullshit. And the generational bullshit has to stop somewhere. I'm not with the generational curses, the generational bullshit. I'm with that generational wealth. You understand? And that's knowledge. And that's knowledge. Because if we know better, we do better. But sometimes we know better, we still don't do better. But if you really think about how to do better, well, I'm sorry, if you get the knowledge to know better, then some will do better. And that's just where I am in life. And that's what I encourage people to do. Just try to live life, really enjoy it, try to break all the generational stuff. Make sure you're good before you bring a girlfriend, a boyfriend, a friend, a child into your life. Because if you're not, the generational stuff keeps on going and going and going, and it's never ending.
Man, that's real.
And mind your business.
Please, mind your business. Please, 2021, 2022, 2023, mind your own damn business. Y'all heard BO Talley-Williams. Thank you. I wish I could give you a hug right now. I know this has been so beautiful. I really appreciate you. This is, like you said, God's grace right here. A blessing truly to be on here with you and to be spending my time with you this evening, and you spending yours with me. So I thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you for having me. I enjoyed this conversation and I enjoyed getting to know you. And I can't wait to tell my husband that I met you, and hopefully I'm going to recruit her to come play in my charity basketball game next year.
Look, I love Atlanta. I haven't been in a few years, but I absolutely love Atlanta. You ain't got to tell me twice. You ain't got to tell me.
All right. Well, I got your email. Cameron got it, so I'm gonna make sure he sent it to my personal email. So when the invitations go out to the celebrities like yourself, I'm gonna make sure you get one of those. Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you for having me, my dear. I wish you nothing but continued success in this. This is a beautiful podcast. Let me know when it airs, and I'll definitely share it with everyone so people can tune in and listen to you. I think what you're doing is amazing for such a young lady. We need more of this. Definitely these type of conversations, these open, honest conversations. A lot of people are afraid to talk. So having someone like you at your age doing this and just it's going to open up people and make them feel more comfortable, because I was really comfortable talking to you. It's like I was talking to one of my kids, actually.
Beautiful. Yes, good. That's so beautiful. I love it. I would say if you need help with anything, I do personal training. I just started getting into like social media and digital marketing because that's huge right now, and I like want to learn another skill, and that's something I'm interested in. I got a life coaching certification. So if there's anything that I can do for you from here, or if you need me to come down there, just let me know.
I will. I'm in Dallas, Texas.
Okay.
I live in Dallas and Los Angeles, but I still got stuff in Atlanta. So Atlanta is home too. And yeah, I'm going to be doing some things with a young girl mentorship group. And I'd love to have someone like you come in and speak and be a part of the sessions and stuff like that. So we're putting it all together. And I'm definitely going to make sure, actually, when I get off this with you, tell Cameron to tie your name into it.
Thank you so much.
Because I think these young girls need to see us, and there's so many of us differently. And it's, you get what I'm saying? And there's so many of us who can put something into them. And it's so many of us that can tell them it's okay that you are just who you are.
Exactly.
And love yourself just for who you are. The curves, the no curves, the big nose, the small nose. Honey, I got called big nose and everything as a child. But I tell them now, this big nose is a blessing because I can sniff out all